All right. So the problem here is the people are desecrating the Sabbath. God has designed us all to be people who have 6 days work, 1 day rest. 6 days work, 1 day rest. No buying, no selling, because that means that somebody else needs to be working. So the goal is to rest, to worship, and to honor God. And the people were very clear. They had just had a reading of the law related to this. Now, in August, I did a much fuller message on Sabbath keeping that might be helpful to you. So if that's a helpful thought, go ahead and pick that up online. But let's take a look at how this applies in Nehemiah's situation. Because Nehemiah gives a clear reason why he's blowing his cork in this moment, why Sabbath day was such a big problem. He said, "Didn't your ancestors do the same thing so that our God brought all this calamity on us and on our city?" Nehemiah's saying, hey guys, 140 years of exile, 140 years of the wall of Jerusalem being broken down. What brought this on to all of us? Well, it's because we weren't honoring God in the first place. I don't want this calamity to happen to you guys in the next generation and the next generation. I want you guys to be thriving. Keeping the Sabbath day is critical not only to honoring God and to your own personal health, but to the future of our country. And so he got brutal about it. Not only was he brutal in the way he talked about it, but he said, guys, we've got to set up some institutions and some practices and some boundaries to make sure that this doesn't happen, to make it not tempting for people. So we're closing the gates on the night before the Sabbath. We're not letting loads come in and out. We're posting guards. Merchants can't be here anymore. There were certain things he put in place to make sure that the Sabbath would not be desecrated. So let me ask how you're doing in this area. I mean, are you committed to living life the way that God said you should live, in a pattern of 6 days work and 1 day rest? Now, if you're someone here who's a guest or a visitor, or you're not following Jesus yet, just so you know this doesn't apply for you, you can come as often or infrequently as you want to Christ Community Church and explore at your own pace. But for those of you who are followers of Jesus, I want to challenge you to live life according to this pattern: 6 days work and 1 day off. This pattern of rest and worship is the best thing that you can do for your soul and for your families. But sometimes it's hard, and we need to put things in place, structures, habits, boundaries that say, I'm going to make sure that I'm all about keeping the Sabbath. I'm all about worshiping God in community. Shut the gates, keep out the merchants, set a guard. Maybe in real life what this looks like is going to bed on time, or saying no to Sunday morning sports, or golf dates, or marathons, or other things that happen on Sunday morning, to say, no, this is sacred time that's set aside for God and for His purposes. And I'm going to honor God every single week without exception. Each one of these is choices that knit together a life of transformation, a life that's wrapped around God. One more decision, one more knit.